Hi, I'm Yano. My pronouns are she, her. I've been out as genderqueer since 2006 and been out of my dark ages since 2011. And today I want to talk a little bit about how those journeys have been related. In the AFOL, or adult fan of Lego, community, your dark ages refers to the period of time between loving Lego as a child and rediscovering it as an adult. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with toys in general. I actually wanted to grow up to be a toy designer, so building with Lego was a way that I loved doing that. I also crafted my own toys out of pipe cleaners and other materials I had available, always kind of inventing my own characters and worlds. At some point, I got rid of most of my toys, because that's what society tells us is part of growing up. And it was maybe a decade later when I realized all I wanted for Christmas was to open a Lego set and spend the day building it. My partner at the time bought me a bunch of Monster Fighters sets, and that is what has set me on this journey of building, collecting, and animating. That's not an uncommon story for AFOLs. What's less common is my queer upbringing. So I have an older sister, and I grew up coveting her dresses, and my parents would let me wear her hand-me-downs. They also bought me Barbies when I asked. I had G.I. Joes too, Mighty Max and Polly Pocket, and of course Lego. If friends had been around when I was a kid, I'm sure I would have collected some of those sets. And just like I got rid of most of my toys when I got older, in my teens and early 20s I tried to put aside my feminine ways and conform, try and be the man that I thought society was telling me I had to be. Being true to yourself and putting aside society's expectations of you is something I think the LGBTQIA and AFOL communities have in common, and certainly there's some overlap. For me as a queer person, Lego being so customizable is something that appeals to me because if I don't feel represented in something or I don't see characters that look like me, Lego minifigures and bricks allow me to create a world that I feel like I fit into. This is an animation set from, at the time of recording this video, my latest stop-motion animation or brick film, which I called Something Brickéd This Way Comes. And most of the characters are female or femme presenting, as well as being people of color, because those are things that we don't often see represented in something like the fantasy genre. I would venture a guess that being able to build a world that you feel represented in draws a lot of us to this hobby, and especially queer people. And yet, as I dig deeper into the Lego community, toy collecting, larger community, and just geek culture in general, you see a lot of heterosexual white men. And so, in the spirit of creating what you want to see in the world, that's why my channel has been dipping a little bit more into Lego and toys as a whole. And I know that the people that are drawn to that content might not be drawn to my content around gender identity and vice versa. So if you have stuck with me, I really appreciate it. If you are not subscribed, it would really help my channel grow, as would liking this video, commenting, and sharing it. If you haven't watched Something Brickéd This Way Comes, please check that out. And you can also support me on Patreon by subscribing at patreon.com/Yano. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.